focusing on this component analysis, like whenever we want to add some of the component in a particular development, then how in the phase of risk analysis we can assemble and what type of activities we are doing in that case, right? And whenever further we are going to search the same product, we are able to identify that activity, that component inbuilt within that system. We had also discussed various examples with respect to that. Now further, product and process. Here they are talking about these two terms, that how they can be differ as well as how they are relevant with each other. So the very first point is, let me take that highlighted. If the process is weak, the end product will suffer. Right? It is like if your preparation is weak, that will be suffered or that will be seen in your result. So result is nothing but ultimately one product, or you can say one the output you are getting at the end of semester, but you have not prepared well, that will affect to that particular result, right? But in over reliance on process is also dangerous. That means if you are too much relay or too much dependent on that process, that will also not acceptable, right? Because every time only process is not responsible for your end output, or you can say for your last product. So people derive as much satisfaction from the creative process as they do from the end of product, right? So definitely our ultimate goal is product, so we'll rely on that, that we need to create such a process that will tends to our highly accepted, highly efficient product. Okay. Further, like an artist enjoy the brush strokes as much as the framed result. They have given just example of artist and their work. Okay. A writer enjoy the search for the proper metaphor, or you can say comparison, as much as they finish the book, right? So they are enjoying this work also, like they are just completing their entire book. So it is like various phases of your process where you are enjoying your actual completion, right? So they are telling that how process and product is related. As creative software professional, you should also derive as much satisfaction from the process as the end product. So that will be you can consider as a one of more important element in keeping creative people engaged as software engineering continues to evolve. So see, till now we had discussed like just to have better product, just to have better output, what are the phases, what are the various type of risk that we are going through, right? But it is not like that product and risk that we need to keep in mind. Sometimes process is also having their own weightage, which we need to keep in mind. Okay. So here they have focused on this process importance, that how process can be important while anywhere you are driving through any other product implementation process. Okay. It is some kind of theory, that is fine. You just need to get concept and meaning out of this slide. Okay. Now next is they have tried to show one software process where our entire process we have divided in different framework. This is called as a framework activity 1. This is called as a framework activity N. So meanwhile we are having so many framework activities. So here This is called as a one umbrella activity they have given. So there are they have defined like activity 1, then 2, then 3, then up to n. So this is called as a framework that we had established to complete our entire single process. So this is just for your understanding. We are not interested in what example we have taken. Now what is there in a framework meaning? So you can see in this slide. What do you mean by process framework? Framework defines a small set of activities that are applicable to all types of project. So here in the framework, we had defined some predefined activities that we must be carried out whenever we are going through some process. Okay, so if we had divided those entire process in different framework, then directly we are able to call those framework. The software process framework is a collection of task set. Okay, it is nothing but collection of some task. That task set consists of a collection of small work tasks, project milestones, work productivity, and software quality assurance point. Right? So these are the very big name, but it is nothing but whenever you are continue with one project, these are the key points that you need to keep in mind, right? Various milestone you need to identify, various work related productivity you need to identify, various software quality assurance points you need to define, where actually you need to fix some of the checkpoints, right? So those are all activities you need to define. So that you can define as a point of one, as a point of different framework. Okay, in the next they have enlisted various activities. These are the called as a typical umbrella activities. You can remember. Actually, we all have heard these terms, so I get it is not hard to remember. First one is the one framework one activity we require, that is project tracking and its controlling. It is the main activity, right? After that, while controlling and tracking, we need to analyze various risks. Further, SQA, that is quality assurance, right? Regarding this, we have post in various MNCs, right? Quality assurance post, quality assurance engineer. Formal technical reviews. If we are working on some huge project with some highly intelligent companies, then we need to introduce various technical reviews meanwhile, right? That we need to take, and whatever review committee will inform you, that you need to note it down. After that, measurement of various parameter. Let's suppose in some of specific project, suppose it is relevant with some maths technology, with some mechanical, then we have fixed some measurement that must be with respect to our specified data, so that we are measuring. Software configuration management, for that also we'll have some different set of activities for configuration purpose. Reusability management, every time for this purpose we are not asking from software team that provide this data for some reusability purpose. No, we have well defined various activity with respect to this point. And work product preparation and production. So here whatever work has been assigned, that will keep on track, like what are the preparation, and after that preparation what production we have estimated, right? So just try to recall these activities that may be asked in 2 marks. You can recall. You can take time of 2 minutes. Try to remember this. Okay. So any query in this? Fine. So now the next is CMMI, the last topic of this chapter to learn. Okay. So CMMI is again nothing but one model, but that is different than that software development model, whatever we had seen, like waterfall, spiral. What are the other model we had seen, students? Can anyone recall? I'm simply asking name. Two I had already given. Okay, very good. One is component based. After that, two I had given, that is waterfall and spiral.
Ma'am,
Anyone? Yes,
RAD,
RAD, yes.
then
Good.
prototyping, then it's a
Kinjal,
spiral,
it is RAD, okay? Okay.
ma'am, then a spiral, concurrent, component,
Yes,
increment.
yes, yes. Good, good. Very good. So you people are recalling the session, or you might note it down somewhere. Somewhere. Good, good. Make this habit. Very good. Yes, prototype, RAD, incremental. Correct. Fine. So this CMMI is not we are using for that purpose, but it will use to check the maturity of your software. So now here maturity, that means the in a basic term we can understand the efficiency, or if anywhere our approach is not up to the mark, we had used some wrong path, then this model will tell us at a particular level, right, like at this level you are having some inappropriate path, so that you should change. Okay, so let's see one by one. CMMI stands for capability maturity model integration, that used as a benchmark to measure the maturity of an organization's software process. So rather just verifying efficiency or capability of software, here we are focusing on the that process, that how efficient process or path we had verified. Okay, you people are getting. Let's say for example, some students has taken mechanical, some students has taken civil, someone has taken computer branch, right? So your path is fixed, maybe outcome is also fixed, right? But whatever process you had selected to reach or to achieve your goal, that might not be correct. So for that we require some third person which will evaluate your process, because that process cannot be evaluated either the person who are from the same committee. Are you getting? They might not able to identify bugs on that process, so we are allocating different person or different tool to just rectify that process. So here that model is treated as a CMMI, right? So it is a framework which is used to analyze the approach and techniques followed by any organization to develop a product. Okay. So as I had informed, the main task of this model is to analyze approach and technique. It is also provides guideline to further enhance the maturity of those software product. So this word is important, guideline. Make sure they are not telling how to implement, or they are not modifying your process. They are simply giving you guidance regarding the updation. Okay. This model describes a strategy that should be followed by moving through 5 different levels. So these are the level. Here it is characterized. Okay, there is some spelling mistake. You just note it down. So they have defined total 5 level activities. First one is the initial level. Second called as a manage. Third one is defined. Fourth one is quantitatively managed. And fifth one is optimizing. Now, with each respective level, we'll have different activities. In the first level, process unpredictable, poorly controlled, and reactive. That means it is initial level where our actual process is not predictable, right? So we'll try to control them, and as per that, we'll try to react on that. Now, in the second level, process characterized for project and it is often reactive, right? So we had slightly started to uh, characterize whatever work we uh, want to have for its further examination. Now, in the third level, that is called as a defined process characterized for the organization and it is proactive. So now it will start to have proactive whenever we'll try to set them for any organization, right? Okay, so it is also called as the one tailor phase of your organization process. In the fourth level, process measured and controlled. That means as we have tested with organization, and here it is measured and also controlled. And in the fifth one, we'll focus on the process improvement. If is there any uh, vacancy to have the improvement, we'll start to have improvement of our product, or you can say yes, process, right? And the same description they have given over here, like what type of activities we can suggest. In the initial, where requirement for the system are usually uncertain, misunderstood and uncontrolled. The process is usually optic and ad hoc, right? That means here we had not fixed anything in a proper manner, but we had simplified some basic terms related to product. So that is uncontrolled and uncertain. Now in the second step, we are estimating the project cost, schedule and functionality, software standards and define. So as the name suggests, sorry, the name suggests we are managing, that means every field we are managing like this. In the third, define, make sure the product meets the requirement and intended to use. So ultimately in defined phase, we are defining that our product is ready and meeting with every requirement stated by our customer. In the fourth level, manage the project's process and sub-process statically. So here everything we are having in the statistic manner, that means we'll have every result and drawback with us. And in the fifth level, that is optimized, identify and deploy new tools and process improvements to meet needs of any business objective. Okay, so that is optimized phase. That is not compulsory in every process, but yes, we need to define. If it is applicable, then we can use. Okay, fine. And the last is limitation. So the very first that we discuss is CMM determine what a process should address instead of how it should be implemented. Are you getting? It is simply telling you that this is wrong, but they are not telling how you can implement your fault, your drawback. Okay. Second one is it does not explain every possibility of software process improvement. Yes, of course, It concentrates on software issues but does not consider strategic business planning, adopting technologies, establishing product line, and managing human resources. That means they are simply analyzing various drawbacks, but they are not having strategy to overcome from that fault. It does not tell on what kind of business an organization should be, right? And CMM will not be useful in the project having a crisis right now. They must be identified in prior, okay, before deployment. Yes, everyone getting fine. So here we are end up with the chapter number 1. So any query you may discuss, anything related to subject you may inform, because today we are not going to start with new unit, okay? And even as it is Friday, so I should know, right? Yes. So anything from your side that we can carry on in this remaining time, you may suggest.
Yeah, ma'am. Can you repeat a spiral model, ma'am?
Spiral model,
Yeah,
yes.
ma'am.
Just a okay, just a minute, let me share my screen. Okay, so let's first see red. Okay, so actually, basically, whenever you are preparing for RAD model, the main word that you need to remember is parallel walking. Here we have distributed our entire work to different teams. Some of are working on some specific functionality, some of are working on some specific other functionalities, right? So together, whenever that work is done, we are combining over here at a phase of deployment, right? As well as in the RAID model, we are using some automated code generation to have a lesser work by our development team, right? So that model you can use whenever you are having some high budget, as well as you are going with some larger size project. Are you getting? Otherwise, with every team, we are defining same type of phases like modeling and constructing, modeling and constructing, modeling and constructing. But for entire project, our communication with customer and planning, that must be done as an individual process manner. That we cannot divide, right? Is it fine? Here also they have written the same thing.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, when will upload this PPT any content?
Yes, what you are asking?
Ma'am, when will upload this PPT any content?
I will upload within 2 days. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Fine. Now the second, that is spiral. The spiral will work for the major. Devanshu, I had uploaded. Okay, fine. I had uploaded in other subject. Sure, I will upload. Okay, I will upload. Fine. So spiral model is work measure for that risk analysis purpose. Whenever you are having high risk chance in any particular product development phase, you can go with this particular spiral model where they have eventually taken one by one process. In meanwhile, before starting with second phase, we are checking our development plan, we are checking our test plan, and once we are getting perfect result as per the customer's requirement, we'll move further to that final code and development phase. That is the main purpose of this particular spiral model. Um, yes. So see, these are the also called as a framework. Now you are better able to understand. In the spiral, we had divided our all the activities in this five component. C, P, M, C, D. What it means? C, that means communication. P, that means planning, modeling, construction, and deployment. Okay, so in short, we had divided some of the portion of time, some of the portion of risk analysis, that where we should easily able to identify the risk and bugs. Are you getting? The main difference between other model and spiral is this. You can consider. Everyone clear? Yes or no? Okay. Harshil, it is not required to go in depth actually. But if you want to refer, you can refer it from the Google. They have analyzed various activities in detail, aspect to our software development. Yeah. Okay, fine. Why you are that much curious about this? If you are having some extra knowledge regarding this, you can share it with us. Okay, okay. Yes, Divyanshu, see, actually, we had learned waterfall, then prototype, then increment, then RAD model, and spiral model. So, in that, use. Right? Why? Because it is like having tedious task, and even we are not having any loop where we can identify if we are getting some mistake, some error. So waterfall is nowadays not popular to use. After that, second one is let me tell you in the sequence where what we had seen. Okay. Second is RAD, Rapid Application Model. So that model you can use when you are having some shorter time, right? As well as will not have any budget limitation, right? Whenever you are having infinite budget, not infinite, but actually you are having good budget, at that time you can use that RAD, right? After that, which, yes, prototype. Time should be less in the RAD model. Are you getting? Yeah. In that prototype model, we are actually so many times analyzing users' requirement, user, and we are doing so many times communication with user. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So in the prototype model, we are taking so many times reviews from the user. We are doing so many reviews, and later on we are starting with the implementation. So that type of prototyping model you can use, where you are having little bit confusion related to your customer's requirement or input or output. Right? Are you getting? That means whenever your flow is not fixed at the initial manner, at that time you can use. Okay. Further, yes, in the spiral, the main keyword that you can say that is risk analysis. When you are having highly risk project, lengthy project, as well as some good budget, at that time you can use the spiral model. There is no barrier on this budget as well, right? In the spiral. Okay. Further concurrent. So concurrent is not that much efficient model, but we can see when we'll have some lesser time and we want some efficient work to be done out, to be carried out. At that time you can use that concurrent development. But again, that is not that much useful. Okay. And after that, incremental model. So that in the incremental model, as you are dividing your entire single product, that means requirement must be understood at initial phase. At that time only you can use this model. Are you getting? So in incremental model, even your team is not that much trained. That also, in that case also you can use with. I mean, you can carry on with incremental model. Okay. Any model is left to discuss? Yes. Then and only we can do. If it is not fragmented, then we cannot use incremental model. It may also happen with some of the definition of software that we cannot fragment them and later on we cannot assemble. Especially in case of software. In case of hardware, it will be easy, but in case of software, it might difficult. Yes. Good.
Ma'am,
Yes.
and when I was looking at syllabus, there is something agile process model.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry, that also we'll see as an entire chapter.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Good. So keep this healthy discussion throughout the semester. It would be nice experience with you guys. I hope. Because actually in the offline classes that would be more easy and even efficient to have healthy discussion. But in the online mode and even by learning 2 semester as an online mode, you are still learning with same tempo that would be really good. So keep it. Yeah, sure. Waterfall is a very easy, Ankit, very easy that you just need to follow the basic steps that we had written. Like, first is the communication, before that, after that, we'll have planning, then after modeling, then after construction, and then after development. So we'll follow this sequential process. If meanwhile we'll found to have a go back to check our intermediate product, to check some mistake, to test our product on some model, that all things are been in this particular model. It is kind of sequential model that once we have start the process, until and unless we'll have one entire product ready, we cannot rectify our process meanwhile. Are you getting? Yeah, good, good. So, anything? Because this is like fourth semester that we are teaching in the online mode, and whenever we'll have like 10 to 15 minutes remaining and I'm asking like any query, any doubt, I never get this kind of interesting doubt from any class. They are simply telling that, okay madam, can we leave, can we wind up session early, can we have some other activities. Actually, they are not demanding for other activities nowadays because they are also knowing that recording is going on. Otherwise, in classes, students are many a times are telling, "Okay, ma'am, let's do have some non-technical events." But in technical, they are simply interested to leave class in early base, nothing else. So good, appreciable activities we have done today. Yet, so also, umbrella activities are just part of the process which analyze and maintain quality of the main CPU and PC. Yes, yes, we can consider just part of process specifically used for the analysis purpose only. Yeah, yeah, we can say good. So can we stop here? As I am having one another session, so I can continue with that. Sure, sure, sure. It is like full of 6 hours. So let's wind up the session. Okay. You can write down your enrollment number in the chat box. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a nice day, nice weekend. Take care.
हेलो मैम।
Yes?
मैम हमारी प्रोजेक्ट डेफिनेशन आप एक बार चेक कर लेंगे, मैंने मेल की है।
Yeah, मैंने वो ऐड भी कर दी एक्सेल में. It's good.
मैम हॉस्पिटल मैनेजमेंट वाली।
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
ओके ओके मैम।
Good. Yeah, you can carry on.
हमारी अटेंडेंस भी नहीं आई कल की लैब की।
आपने किया था
हाँ हाँ
वो
मैम।
एनरोलमेंट नंबर?
हाँ हाँ हमने ऐड किया था।
नहीं, बट मॉर्निंग में मैंने जब आपका नाम लिया आपने रिप्लाई नहीं किया था. आपने, वैंसी ने, फिर बहुत सारे ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स थे तो उनकी अटेंडेंस नहीं आई थी.
ओके मैम।
यस.